Please hang up and try again.
I've been trying to do a video the last 3 days. The subject is lane sharing. And every time I do it, it's like I need to do it when I'm actually talking about something. So even though it kind of sounded okay, I needed to make sure I did it better. So I'm going to do it and hope I get it right this time. I noticed recently that Arizona is now going to allow lane sharing. And basically what it means is in most states, I couldn't tell you about all states, but in most states, when you come up to an intersection and you're going to go straight across, there could be somebody, another car, come up beside you, and then when it's safe, they can turn right on the red light. You're sharing the lane. And the same thing with motorcycles. You're sharing the lane. And most states specify something about it being illegal to split lanes, but not in California. That's kind of why it's legal, because it isn't illegal. About 2-3 years ago, they decided to change things a little and make it to where if you're on the freeway and the speed is 30 miles or slower, 30 miles an hour or slower, you can safely, slowly creep in between the cars. But if it's going any faster, technically you can't split. I still see it, not as much, but I still see it. But it also allows you that when you get to a traffic light, and you've got a bunch of cars, if you're on a two-wheeled motorcycle, you can split all the way up to the front. And then when the light turns green, you can punch it and go. The problem has to do with red light runners. I lost a friend years ago. He would squirm up the traffic, and when the light turned green, he went. And the problem is he encountered a red light runner, and they T-boned each other. I'm not sure which one which now. But, I mean, that's for two-wheeled motorcycles that are splitting lanes. Now, what do I mean? I mean, I can't split. You can't split with three wheels. But you can, on many occasions, find yourself at the front of an intersection, right there at the crosswalk. And the same thing goes when you get the green light. Don't floor it. Don't jump the gate and go. I have trained myself that when I get to that situation, I will actually make sure all traffic is stopped. When you're in a left turn lane, it tends to be the first to go when cross traffic is stopped. But they're changing the patterns now, and there's times when cross traffic gets to go first and then the arrow. And so you gotta watch things. But basically, I told myself every time that light turns green, look and make sure all other traffic has stopped. Don't run it right away. It's just a habit you need to get into. And even when you're in a car, you really want to hold off a second or two and make sure there's no red light runners. I was, a couple years ago, next to a cop car, gonna go straight through. There's two lanes, and the light turns green, and this left turn car went through the red light. It was obvious they went through a red light. The cop didn't do anything. It's like, hello, didn't you just see that? They didn't want to bother. So I just trained myself. I'm always watching. I'm always looking at traffic behind me, beside me, and especially big rigs and buses, they can't stop as quick, and it seems to be the practice that when you see a yellow light, you don't apply the brakes, you give it more gas. And so a lot of times people run red lights, and when people get tickets for running red lights, they actually object. It's like they're getting offended. So basically, it's just a case of I'm not getting it though. I'm wanting to stop at an intersection. The rain, I'm getting rain right now. I'm in California, and it looked like it was spitting. And I thought, well, I'll go out for a blustery, slightly damp ride. It's not like I'm going to go too far, but there were times when I was getting rained on. But I'm trying to get myself at an intersection to where when the light turns green, I will literally look and make sure there's no one going to run a red light before I go. It just takes a second or two, but it can really make a difference in enjoying the ride or not. Currently, the laws are not enforced as much as it would be nice if they did. We had a red light camera in another community, and when people got off the freeway, they came right to an intersection. They stopped, but they stopped on the crosswalk. The idea is to stop before the first white line. So they technically stopped, but not quite in the right place. And because of that, they were getting red light tickets. And they complained because they stopped. At least they think they stopped. So instead of explaining things to them and maybe giving them a lesser fine, they took the red light camera down. It wasn't more than about 7 months later that somebody got hit. And I see so many. They get to that red light, they are going to turn right. They mostly don't even slow down. So you've really got to be watching out for really bad drivers. Now, enforcement or lack of enforcement is helping, and we're getting used to it. And unfortunately, once in a while, it doesn't work out and somebody gets hurt or killed. Now let's see if I can do it here. Come to a red light. It's a small intersection, albeit slightly busy. So I'm going to make it sure everybody's stopped, and then I go. The cops are so busy, city cops anyways, are so busy with other kinds of crimes and burglary that they really need a separate team of people to control traffic. Highway patrol, that's all they do is ride on the highways, and there just aren't enough of them. So we have to try and be a bit better at it ourselves, and I really don't like it when a friend or someone I know or even someone I don't know gets in the news and they got seriously injured. We've had a lot of people lately that we're in a crosswalk, and just believe that they're in a crosswalk, they have the right to cross the road. The problem is you're walking out in front of moving traffic, and they might not stop. So even though you have the right of way, you could be dead right, which is, well, not fun. So it's a responsibility that we all need to consider. Something I learned years ago was an accident is never 100% one person's fault. You could have done something to help prevent it. There's a law now, I'm not sure about other states, but if it's raining and your wipers are going, your headlights have to be on. And I believe in Canada, your headlights just have to be on, period, anytime. But it's a case of if you get into an accident and it's pouring down rain and your lights aren't on, you're not very visible, you're gonna get not as much paid out as you hoped for, because you didn't do all you could have done to prevent the accident. So basically the idea is when you get to an intersection and the light turns green, don't jump the gun. Take your time, look everywhere, make sure before you go, especially when you're in unfamiliar areas.